but the game still sucks. I
I don't have fun. I've
Yeah,
never
because it's not
downloaded and undownloaded a game so fast.
the game feels like a mobile version of Battlefield. Even when I look at the dashboard and see the cover picture, it does not invoke great feelings in me because I knew what we had in the beginning. And in the beginning, we had nothing.
I don't know, man. And I don't like I'm definitely not a COD fanboy or anything like that. But getting
Not at
back
all.
on there and not playing to like sweat it out, but just to really get on there for the enjoyment of just having something to play, and then getting on the Battlefield 2042 is god awful. Like it's bad.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
it's bad, and it's rough.
Obviously, the game has been improved since it launched. Obviously, that's the only possible way it could go because at launch we basically had nothing. We didn't have a scoreboard. There's so many things that were broken in the beginning that we kind of just ran out. I mean, there was no leaning, there was no crouch sprinting, no going prone, laying on your back and shooting. Like, at least leaning around corners, and then you get to the maps. There were no barricades, there was nothing on the map to indicate that we were in the midst of a battlefield. The maps were pristine and polished. Kaleidoscope, absolutely one of the worst maps to ever be made at launch. And on top of that, you couple that with the capture point placements where you have tanks sitting up on the capture point.
On
Shooting
both caption
down.
points and can see each other
Right.
on either side.
How am I supposed, like, literally, if you needed to capture C or whatever, you needed to go to D first. But good luck getting to D because the tank is parked up on the skyscraper. The only possible way of getting there is getting into a hovercraft at the time and going up the side of it.
Crazy, man.
Or just getting in the elevator and just waiting to get blown to pieces because all you had to do was shoot one time to the elevator, kill everybody.
Well, and here's the thing. So, like, I logged in here recently, like this week, and I loaded in, and I don't want to say just because I was in like mid game, but they were playing Conquest. I literally loaded in, caught 4 to the chest, dead. Like my guy barely materialized. Then I loaded in at another one. I ran 10 feet, got booty blopped, dead, and I'm like, okay. Went to another map or like another spawn point, got blapped. I'm like, nobody's even near me. Like, where?
You're just getting
what?
sniped the entire time?
Yeah, like I don't even know where the hell I'm getting shot from. And then it's worse because it's like, okay, fine, I'll go to another map. And then I played Breakthrough because I kind of like Breakthrough because it reminds me of like Battlefield
Rush,
5. Yeah, it's like a rush type thing. It just atrocious, just all the way through, and it's just like. I mean, I still like the on-the-go changing of like the guns and stuff like that for like different situations, but like it's just ugly, and I want to like the game so bad by not playing it for a while, but I don't. Honestly, I'd rather just play Call of Duty. I'd rather drop into Warzone. At least I can see the character that I'm trying to fight. Like there's some form of like combat a little bit. No, not this. It's ugly.
I'm trying to think if we weren't playing at launch, would we still, like, if we didn't play at launch and then we hopped in like 6 months? Well, it took them a lot longer to fix this game than 6 months to a year. Like, I don't know, I forgot the timeline that it took for them to actually start revamping their maps. They call it a revamp, but I call it finishing the maps because what we got at launch was just the base code.
And they were doing too big of maps just in general.
Yes,
there was
too.
so much empty space,
which makes
like
me
it
think
sounds
that the
weird.
game was supposed to be something else.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing. Like just giving an example, Warzone with 150 players, I can run around for 10 minutes and not fight anybody, right? Like depending on like where you drop in and kind of what's going on. Warzone, not Warzone, Battlefield, it is so fucking big to have 150 players in there that you're running in open space and still don't see nobody. It's almost like you need 250 players in there for it to feel like a traditional
Right.
like Battlefield game, because there's so much open space.
Especially on Hourglass. Hourglass is insane. Like that, you would be running for at least 5 minutes across these sand dunes. God forbid, there was absolutely
It's like that
vehicle,
Arctic map.
right? Vehicle superiority was high at the start of this game, but I've always hated, bigger is better. That is not the case in most of the time. Like, you have to have a system in place to make, if you want a bigger map, then you need to design the map so there's flow. It's kind of like the finals. When we play the finals, like, the maps are made so wherever you spawn, you're within a firefight at least 15 to 20 seconds. You're always engaged in the finals, but not in Battlefield. You could run around the map 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, no, you're not. No. Mm-mm. Nope. Because even like that Arctic map or whatever, depending if you're defending or attacking, you're running on a glacier to a cliff, and then it's off the cliff, and then still running to the first checkpoint. No.
Right.
And then by that time, I've already been ran over by a tank, had 12 snipers hit me. Yeah, no.
Remember when, that ice map, all of the maps were terrible. The game at its best is when they started having those Friday night conquests where there was like 2 capture points side by side, and it was very close quarters. It was very like the player count was 64, like a traditional Battlefield. Like, that's when the game felt its best, because I think that's the perfect number for Battlefield. You up the number, it just becomes too much. I don't know what it is. It's just that extra. What is it? 32? It's just not. It's just not happening. Because you're getting shot from all angles.
Weird. That's what I'm telling you. I got in there and I was getting boot bopped freaking left and right. I'm like, can I even attempt to get out of my spawn? That's all I want to do. Just let me get it. Like, let me try. You know what I mean? No. Nope. Keep your ass there. That's what's going to happen. Enjoy it.
Not only that, specialist heroes do not belong in Battlefield. A lot of the times, what made traditional Battlefields great was working as a team to try and flank, to get behind the enemy and like get their capture points. But Sundance removes all of that. Sundance
That's my favorite character.
A hop and a skip, and she's in the air at max speed. She can get behind enemy lines, pop a few people, or come right in at a perfect moment where your whole squad has spawned on squad leader. She wipes out your whole squad, and then she hop and a skip. She's back with her team at. Like, it ruins, these specialists ruin the flow of these games. And on top of that, you had it's the Woody character to me, because he looks like Woody from Toy Story. But him being able to use that grapple to get up on top of the building, and on top of that, this game didn't have a lot of destruction. In
no, you couldn't bring him down.
Yeah, you couldn't bring him down. So you're just getting
just mollywopped everywhere.
Right. Sundance flying around you like a gnat, a mosquito. And then you got...
I've never seen a character jump off of a fucking pebble and take off like a jet plane in my entire life.
They didn't even bother calibrating that to be realistic. At least have it so she jumps off of a high point and then she gathers speed. I can understand that. But jumping off from like a shipment, like a little crate or anything, it could be a forklift, and she's gone.
Nope, you ain't getting none of that.
Up into the air.
At least Call of Duty, you got to have some like hang time to pull the parachute. She is taking off,
right? She's
like
gone.
A fucking plane. Yeah, hovercraft gone out. Have a good day. She was never there.
I don't care what kind of changes they have made. It still will not compare to previous Battlefields. It just does not. Its identity is lost. That's not Battlefield to me. As soon as you start putting in all these specialists, that's not Battlefield to me. This is a caricature of Battlefield. It's like this game is trying to be so many different things other than itself, which is pissing me off. Now, it's crazy that the trailer got me interested, but that beta had me worrying.
Well, the problem with the trailer is that they immortalized that guy that did the plane ejection to missile to another plane, killed him, and then got back in the plane, and we could do none of that. Now, mind you, the amount of people that can actually pull that move off is very, very slim in general, but there was no real gameplay like that. And it's not to harp on the game and just say, poo-poo on that. It's just, it wasn't Battlefield, and then they tried to put a candy wrapper on a piece of shit and tried to sell it that way. And they tried to walk it back, which I think was the craziest thing I've ever seen in gaming in general, because they literally dropped it and then there were problems at launch and they were like, no, it's good. And then it got so bad, they're like, we just playing. That was an old model. Like, what are you talking about? This is a beta. Like, this is about to come out. Like, y'all are 3 weeks out. You can't fix this.
The beta was the real game.
It was worse. I'd rather play the freaking beta. That was crazy.
It was such
when there was screen tearing on that game during the beta, that was a problem.
So I'm looking at the subreddit now, and I'm just going to list off a few things. So obviously, when you throw out that class system that the engineer saw at recon and support, automatically you've pissed me off, because I'm like, where is that? Because I like seeing a character and knowing immediately what role they are playing, instead of seeing a recon pull out an RPG. What are we doing? Why does the recon also have C4 and RPG? He's able to do everything. Like, there's no balance there. What's the point of me being here on your squad when you have everything?
The fact that I was running around as a recon that had a rocket launcher with me was crazy times. I can have an LMG and I'm literally every support. I'm good.
Right. Like what's the point of me? Like, I love playing support on the original Helldiver, on the original Battlefield 4. Love that class. There's no need for me. There is just none. So,
you've been deleted.
Right. So we got no single player campaign. I knew that was going to get thrown out anyway. We didn't get a server browser, which has been in most Battlefields as far as I've been playing them. No standard hardcore mode, no conventional scoreboard, no persistent lobbies like it used to be, no class system, less character customization options, no profile progress, no stats, just no dog tags.
You weren't getting none of that. You were lucky to even be playing.
No spectator mode. Fewer guns. We only had 2 pistols at launch. No diving while swimming.
I think that was crazy. I don't know, man. The whole game was just weird when it came out. But also,
weird. It's broken. There was no game.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna say something really weird. I am okay with leveling, but they almost need to take a page out of the book of COD, and you need to be able to prestige, because level 55 at 20-30 hours in to be completely done with the game is unacceptable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, for that type of a game, that's completely unacceptable. There's no reason while you're at level 57, I'm at 55 and we are done. There's nothing else.
Yeah, there is no reason for me to keep playing, because I had tested all the weapons already, as slim as they were. Trying to enjoy this game, knowing that I will be using this weapon for the next 50 hours. I think we got off after that, because we felt like we had got our money's worth. I don't know how long we had played. Actually, I didn't get my money's worth. I actually had a horrible time, and I'm glad I had a buddy to share that horrible time with.
We complained the entire time.
We definitely did.
It was the worst Christmas ever.
Now we got people on the subreddit talking about Battlefield 2042 is so good now. What? Listen, I hate when people. Okay, this is what irritates me the most, is when the core community hates something, and then some COD player or from another, I don't know, World of Warcraft comes in like, I don't understand why you guys are so upset. It's not that bad. Buddy, somebody can sell you shit and you would still gobble it down. Because there's just no way that you can look at that game and be like, oh, it's not that bad. You guys are overreacting. Am I? I got sold a shit project. I didn't even get a full product.
Yeah, no. And I don't know, man. Like, there were some marks that were missed. And I'm a glutton for a nice skin. Like, I really am. I'm not going to sit here and try and act like if they don't drop a Reaper skin in a game, I'm probably going to buy it. Let's just be honest. It is what it is. I'm all for tactical gear, but they didn't maximize on the skin game. They didn't do weapon customization. Like all the things that you kind of want to bitch about with COD. Like I understand why, because like Nicki Minaj should not be in a war game, and as much as I like Snoop, neither should Snoop or Jay and Silent Bob or the dude from Stranger Things. Like that shouldn't be in the game. But
Right.
when it's tactical, like there's Call of Duty has some really nice tactical skins out there. Do I want to spend $30 on them? No, because I'm only
Absolutely
playing Warzone. But if I was the type of player that played the regular multiplayer, oh yeah, I probably have 4 or 5 of them bad boys. To be honest with you, you play better with a good skin. I don't care what anybody says.
It does make you want to play longer. I hope that this next Battlefield, as far as like cosmetics, they do like Helldivers, they still stick within the lore and the feel and the setting. Please do not go off script and start giving us Santa hats, lizard skins. I promise you, if you do that, please provide a filter so I don't have to see that. Provide a filter so I can just ignore the lizard shooting at me. I don't want the game to be like Fortnite or anything like that. I want the game to maintain its identity all
not
the
going
way
to.
this day.
Well, you know what? I don't want to poo-poo on it, but it seems like they're going in the right direction with the
It
new one.
does.
I love the fact that they are beta, triple, quadruple, alpha, zeta testing it, because it seems like they're taking the markers from the community. They're listening, they're adapting, and they're changing.
Right.
And from what sounds bad, but whatever leaked I've seen, it looks like they're moving in a right direction to where it's going to be more like Battlefield 4. And if they can come 70-80% to what that is, it's going to be fantastic.
Right. Like because I've always been asking for Battlefield 4, but with PlayStation 5, with the power of the PlayStation 5. That's all I'm asking for. It's just a good Battlefield. Just come out good and polished. That's all I'm asking.
All I want is Need for Speed Underground on the PlayStation 5.
Oh, my
Oh.
God. You ain't getting that no time soon, because the people
Never.
who make the Need
Never.
Criterion is also making Battlefield. It's all hands on deck this year. Ain't nobody making nothing until this
Not with
Battlefield
the-
comes out correct.
Well, that and the fact that GTA got pushed back, everything's going to start coming out.
Right. Like, I don't have anything else to say. I
No.
can't enjoy the game as it is right now.
Nope.
It's
Already been deleted. It's off the dashy. Never dropped into Warzone so fast in my life. Which is crazy for me. That's a wild thought to think that's where I'm at.
Right. Who knew you'd pick COD over Battlefield?
Ever.
Like I
Ever.
said,
I've
it's
been on
just-
here trashing it.
It's just a mobile version. That's the lore in my brain. That whole setup was like a fever dream. But I don't have anything else to say. Let me know in the comments if you're still enjoying 2042 at this point. Hard to imagine that you are.
But if you are, get in here and talk smack, because I need to know.
Right, we'll argue about it in the comments. But above all else, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss an episode. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Call out to any notepad who will listen. 36 hours to Noah. Get ready to fight!